Okay, ready? You want 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2?
Try again.
Sandra Bullock and Bryan Randall seen exchanging vows and dancing in intimate Bahamas ceremony 3 years before his ALS diagnosis. Sandra Bullock and Bryan Randall never married but exchanged vows on the beach in the Bahamas in an intimate ceremony witnessed by friends and family in December 2017, DailyMail.com can reveal. Exclusive video obtained by DailyMail.com shows the couple dancing the night away following the ceremony, which was not legally binding and involved no officiant, but instead saw Bullock, 59, declare herself to the man she called the love of my life and him profess his love in return. It was just 3 years before and a world away from when Randall would receive his devastating diagnosis with ALS, the illness to which he succumbed at the weekend. Dressed in a kaftan, her hair in braids and flip-flops on her feet, this was the low-key affair that Bullock, who had no desire to remarry following her divorce from Jesse James in 2010, wanted. For his part, Randall, his white shirt open at the neck, also in flip-flops, with baseball cap pulled low and in casual black pants, appears entirely caught up in his bride and the moment. According to one friend, they really did this for the children, to kind of seal the deal and show them this was a forever thing. After the ceremony, Louis, 13, and Layla, 11, started calling Bryan Dad. The ceremony marked the culmination of a 14-day trip to Arpad Bussin's 3B's villa on Harbor Island. The exclusive retreat, owned by the French financier, who was once married to Elle Macpherson and later fathered a daughter by Uma Thurman, is a favorite place for Bullock and her family. One guest who was there explained, "It was Bryan's birthday on December 31st, so it's like they wanted to celebrate everything all at once." In recent months, rumors had swirled that the couple had broken up or that their relationship was on the rocks. Stories to that effect had bubbled up just days before the announcement of Randall's passing. Today, DailyMail.com can reveal that while Randall's illness put a strain on their union, they were more together than ever at the time of his death. In fact, Bullock had been secretly overseeing and funding the round-the-clock care required by her partner of 8 years, who spent his last months closeted away in her Beverly Hills home. One insider told DailyMail.com, Sandra kept Bryan hidden away in the back of the house. "It's so big that you could conceal what was going on with him, but towards the end she really didn't let people into the home beyond the doctors and nurses who were looking after him." The source said, "It was quite convenient for them to have these rumors that they'd broken up because it helped conceal what was really going on. It was easier to let people assume they hadn't seen him because they were no longer together." In fact, the couple was struggling with the new and bleak reality of Randall's illness, a sickness for which there is no cure and a degenerative disease that affects the nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. ALS, or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, sufferers usually die of respiratory failure within 2 to 5 years of diagnosis, though a small percentage can survive up to 10 years. Randall is understood to have been ill for 3 years. One source told DailyMail.com, "The relationship was absolutely strained by it, and it was really hard for the children. He had been living in one of her Malibu properties for a while just because it was nicer for him to be there, by the ocean, and I think some people assumed they had split because it looked like they were living separately, but there weren't. She'd have the house stocked up with everything he needed, and his nurses would go there." The couple met when Randall was hired to take photographs at a birthday party for Bullock's oldest child, Louis, in 2015. He was the first serious relationship for the actress since her split from ex-husband James, who cheated on her. Bullock and Randall went public in October 2015 when he was on the actress's arm at the premiere of her movie, Our Brand is Crisis. According to those within the couple's circle, they were all but inseparable from there on in, with Randall accompanying Bullock to press junkets, movie premieres, and becoming a firm fixture on set when she was on location filming. But the first public indication that all was not well came in 2020 when, a source revealed, Bryan didn't travel with Sandra to Vancouver where she was filming The Unforgivable. Until then he had traveled everywhere with her along with her trainer, the nannies, security, and the children. They tended to travel by bus when possible. Randall was once again absent from his lover's side during filming for The Lost City, which took place in the Dominican Republic, May to August 2021. That December, Bullock appeared on Red Table Talk and referred to Randall as the love of my life, but there was no sign of him in March 2022 when she presented The Lost City at South by Southwest in Austin, where her production company Fortis Films is headquartered. During this time, DailyMail.com understands that Bullock also introduced strict COVID testing protocol, which was still in place at her Beverly Hills residence at the time of Randall's death. According to one insider, she just stopped letting people in the house. All the testing was done outside, at the pool house, 2, even 3 times a week. It was a huge undertaking, and the general understanding was that it was because Bryan was in there, in the back of the house, receiving care. It was a horrible situation. It got so the children and even Sandra wanted him out of the house at some times. He was seeing a psychologist too at one point. I don't know if that was because of the progression of the illness or the mental toll of coping with it. I don't think Sandra necessarily knew the kind of man she was letting into her world when she met Bryan, but there came a time when it was really too late. Randall's troubled past came out soon after his romance with Bullock became public, as he was accused of being a one-time deadbeat dad and drug addict. He was in rehabilitation for drug abuse when his then-fiancée Janine Staton was pregnant with their daughter, Skylar, in the early 1990s, and according to multiple sources was not present during Skylar's early life. Court documents show that at one time he was ordered to pay 10 months in backdated child support totaling nearly $2,000. However, relatives have since said that he manned up to his responsibilities as a father after heroin addict Janine died of a drugs overdose, leaving him as the guardian for his daughter, who was then 14. According to an insider, Skylar, now 30, has long had a difficult relationship with her father, but she recently visited him at Bullock's Los Angeles home and had made peace with him before his death. The source said he was on oxygen and all sorts of medication. His mother and his daughter visited a few months ago at different times, and it felt like they both knew it might be the last time they saw him. Meanwhile, under Randall's influence, according to a friend, Bullock's social circle dwindled. The friend said she stopped throwing her annual Easter parties. They used to do big Thanksgivings and Christmas in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, but she really has a very small group of friends these days, and when she does see them, she goes to their homes. She wouldn't let anyone come to her place anymore unless it was outside by the pool. DailyMail.com has been told that among the very few exceptions to that rule were Randall's close friend, actor and star of Lost, Josh Holloway, and his wife Jessica, who stayed at Bullock's house and visited with him earlier this year. But for the most part, the only regular visitors to the house were members of the team of medical experts, including specialists, highly skilled nursing staff, and ultimately hospice care. The source said it was just a horrible situation for them all, but she didn't abandon him no matter how tough it got.